Hey, what's the matter, you?
All right. So this is a little snippet of a song from Paul Simon. You may know him from Simon and Garfunkel, which I love, called Slip Sliding Away. I guess it's kind of fitting considering we are aging. Slip sliding away, slip sliding away. You know, the nearer your destination, the more you slip sliding away. Oh, I know a man came from my hometown, where his passion for his woman like a thorny crown. He said, Dolores, I live in fear. My love for you is so overpowering, I'm afraid I will disappear. Slip sliding away.
Sliding away.
You know, the nearer your destination, the more you slip sliding away.
Guido!
Slip sliding away. Joe, take it away. We got Joe. You were supposed to be topless during this episode. We need more subscribers.
Well, I'll probably double our number, so we'll see what you guys think. Topic of today is doom scrolling. So went into my human resources department, spoke to a lady there. We're good friends. And she told me a story of how they were sitting at their dinner table and they have, like 3 kids, and all of them are down on their phone going like this. And the father's like, what are you doing? And following weekend, the father's doing this also. So now the mom's like, okay, what's the deal? What are you guys doing? Oh, TikTok. She became a TikToker and now is addicted to scrolling, running into many issues. Had a story at night. She's like, all of a sudden it was 9:30 and she threw her phone down. She's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. That was way too long. I can't believe this. Had a very restless night's sleep and a terrible morning the next day.
Can you hit presentation mode, Joe?
Say again?
Can you hit presentation mode on your PowerPoint?
Presentation mode.
It's the little down on the right, lower right corner, right next to the slider, to the left of the slider. Keep going to the left. Right there.
Slideshow?
No, right there.
Slideshow.
Yep. Sorry. Nice.
Well, okay. Why this conversation matters. We're living in a constant stream of information, which of our brains were never designed for this volume. Understanding equals empowerment. So, first thing we need to do, what is doom scrolling? Compulsive consumption.
You're right, Christian. Do you know why it's showing his next slide thing there?
Usually it goes on 2 screens. You have 2 screens, Joe, or 1 screen?
I'm a dual screen man.
So you should be full screen on the other screen. It's probably got full screen on the other screen, right?
It does. It has full screen on one, the one I was sharing with you, or no?
No. The one
it's okay. I mean, I just find it weird.
Okay, let's go like this. It's probably because I thought I was on the other screen. So let's go like this. Boom. So now you see the doom scrolling just...
Yeah, just shrink your other side. Shrink the left so you don't get... Yeah, okay, cool.
No, it's doing it.
Oh, it doesn't separate it like that? Okay, mine usually separates it into 2 things, but whatever, it doesn't matter.
Okay. If you can shrink that one to the right, shrink it as much as you can.
It's funny because my other screen, like you said, has it all on one screen, but it says stop sharing. Maybe I'll try sharing the other side. Let me see if that'll do
So
it.
doom
Now I know why
scrolling
we
is
only have three
when they're just
subscribers.
tapping on the screen, they're constantly tapping on the screen, right?
Okay, so I'm gonna go like this. Let's try that. Share that. Now I'm sharing this side. And let's see if I go back to PowerPoint.
Doomscrolling is a great
And
topic.
then like, how's that?
Yeah.
Great. That's perfect.
Okay. I mean, again, our brains were never designed for this volume. A little subjectivity, but obviously we're in information overload. I don't think that's a stretch of the imagination when you consider the number of videos that come on. I forget the number. It's some crazy amount. Uh, 20 million videos are uploaded daily,
Wow.
and that's only on YouTube. TikTok sees another 24 million, 23.5 each day.
Wow.
We are
Instagram
definitely
is
consuming information differently. I mean, it's and video. Yeah.
Instagram has 95 million photos and videos shared daily.
Wow.
This is an incredible number. You know what I mean? That's crazy. So that's interesting. That it's.
Wouldn't you guys agree that it is basically dopamine addiction?
So yeah, I mean they say that first off, all right. So what is doom scrolling? Compulsive consumption of negative or distressing content. Find that an interesting definition.
Well,
I think.
wait a minute. Would you guys? I would disagree with that. I mean, that's part of it, but that's not a complete definition. It doesn't have to be
I would
negative.
agree.
Yeah.
I would agree.
I mean,
I think that it could be just content.
it could be funny content. Now, certainly, we know that clickbait a lot of times is negative, right? And that's because clickbait. But there's also lots of comedy and funny stuff, and obviously lots of sexual stuff and that kind of,
Yeah, I think it goes much further than just negative or distressing, which I believe only adds to the issue. It doesn't subtract from the issue.
But
The fact
maybe
that
doom scrolling is like a specific brand of scrolling. Like it's not like you're describing a different. You're describing like when the fun scrolling is it can consume the same amount of time, but doom scrolling sounds like more of you get into that negative. Like
I don't know. I know I had queried what's it called when you scroll constantly through video. So
it's an interesting point, Christian, but you could look at it in two ways. So you're saying, okay, so what you're getting at, obviously we know scrolling is a verb, and that refers to scrolling down your phone on video after video, or even on the computer. So doom, you got to ask yourself, is doom part of the activity or is doom the content? So you're right, doom could be part of the content, or the act of scrolling itself is a bad activity. It is a wasteful doom activity. So I think you could look at it in those two ways.
I think I hate the fact that it said only negative, but a different definition had put that it was or even just scrolling. So there was numerous definitions when I had looked at it before where it was giving a different definition.
Right. Yeah, it's fine.
But not to get off topic too much. So on this, well, and like we said, why our brains get hooked? Dopamine keeps us scrolling. Even if it's fear or pleasure, keeps us alert. I can't tell you how many times if I was tired and I started scrolling, my tiredness went away.
Yeah, I mean, it's a form of titillation, right? It's in a form of excitement. It's, you know, it's that minor hit of excitement.
Well, and then they do have the algorithms that are purposely looking at what we are looking at and feeding us what we want. Um, I mean, that's just.
Yeah.
I mean, would you guys equate this is our version of Soma? I mean,
I don't really know what somas are.
no. So Soma is from the novel Brave New World. It was a drug given
Oh
to
yeah, yeah.
placate the masses, right? So how do you placate the masses? How do you get them basically focused on trivial nonsense to forget about the hardships of daily existence?
I think a physical drug is much more powerful, though. I think this is very addicting, obviously, but it's a physical drug is much more powerful. I mean, they work. You know, that's why people take drugs. They work.
Right.
Even it's
Right.
like medicine. Medicine is drugs. Medicine, some medicine works. You know, it's good. It's effective.
Yeah. No, I think that's a true statement that drugs are obviously though drugs cost money, drugs are risk. So this gives you sort of it's like drugs light, right? I mean, this is the same because you can obviously get addicted. So we see people having addictions
Yeah.
to this kind of stuff where they're totally uncomfortable if they don't have their phone in front of their face.
Or even playing video games and stuff too. It's some people have died playing video games, like in Asia and stuff.
Right.
Well, they say studies show that about around 64% of Americans doom scroll. Gen Z, 81%. 8 out of 10.
Wow.
Millennials,
Really, all a
60.
consequence of the phone. Really, is what made it all possible.
It's,
I find it interesting that China bans it.
you know,
China does not let the kids are not allowed to be on their watching this content all day. They are banned from it.
75% of college students engage in it. 53% of Gen X. Every other Gen X. Oh my
It's
goodness.
a good
I mean,
distraction, man. It's a distraction. Most people are probably, like they're, I guess, sad or whatever word you would use. I don't know. Not sad. Maybe it's not the wrong word, but they want to distract themselves from reality.
Right. I do think distraction is a big part of it. I think the problem with the distraction aspect is when you add in the addiction, like he was talking about, where people forget. They think, oh, I'm just going to look at this for 30 seconds. And then all of a sudden they look up and it's an hour later or 30 minutes later or 45 minutes later.
Yeah.
And that's where, to me, the danger really lies. And I mean, just taken from my own experience, I had to dump it all. I literally saw it eating into my time, eating into my life. And I said, that's it. I got to get rid of this because I kind of equated it with a poison. I said, I got to get rid of it. It's a poison,
yeah.
And I'll admit it was addictive. I mean, like I said, I hadn't had Instagram for the longest time. Instagram account. And again, I find that all of a sudden my feed is filled with like three things. It's like comedy stuff, women showing their boobs, and there was something else like I forget, homesteading or some other nonsense, or political stuff. So that's it. That's it. It was funny stuff, boobs, and political stuff, and it was just swamped with those three things. And to be honest, it keeps you scrolling. So once I saw that and that it was just going more and more, I was just like, you know what? I gotta just go. I don't need this.
Yeah.
It's not good. It is not good, gentlemen. We're up to 5 hours a day. on our screen time with doom scrolling. Mental health effects: increased anxiety and depression, emotional exhaustion, reduced attention span. And I think that you could even put more. I think it impacts, our sleeping. I know it was for me. I would just jump into bed, and all of a sudden, a half an hour later, I wasn't even tired. And then I struggled getting to sleep. So I had to stop that because that was interfering with my good night's sleep. Um, yeah. Now I can't believe there has to be a conscious effort to not want to do it until you break the habit. Could you imagine? So this is not good. Sleep disruption, heightened anxiety.
One thing,
Comparison
can you go back to the last? Actually, no, this is a perfect one. Just stay here. I watched a video today on YouTube, and it was a bunch of teachers and a lot of teachers quitting. Actually, CJ Christian, you may know about this. A lot of teachers quitting, and one of their top complaints was two of them was, of course, no attention span and not willing to do any self problem solving. Basically, giving up if they don't get immediate gratification. Just giving up instantly if they don't get the answer right away in 15 seconds. Forget it. And
Yeah.
a lot of them just getting burnt out.
Yep. Impact on relationships, reduced presence, shallow connection, interrupted moments. I mean, they're sitting at a dinner table and nobody's even communicating. I know that this leads right into a lot of communication issues. And it's so funny because at my work, every issue that develops is a lack of communication. I'm not saying there's a direct correlation, but man, I'm telling you, I can't tell you, I've been asked several times, how can I concentrate all day? As if I'm doing something unique, working an 8-hour day by concentrating the whole day, as if I'm special. It used to be that was the mandatory. It's just,
I remember having a young lady, Sherry Corbett, or Sherry Dennis at the time, who I worked with her sister, Sandy Dennis at the time, who was in HR, and this was her sister who was interning with us, and this is, geez, I don't know, 30 years, probably 25 years ago. But anyway, she had the problem where she was a very attractive young lady, and she was like a little social butterfly. So she was off kibitzing and talking to people. And I remember talking to her and saying, listen, nothing wrong with that if it's in its proper time and place. But you got to get work done. So you need to go into the office. You need to close the door, get rid of the distractions, and focus. And she always appreciated that. Years later, she told me that was some of the best advice.
yeah, because if you don't, you're in trouble. And so pause and reflect. How do we feel after scrolling? When you're done with the scrolling, it's an interesting question. To try and pin it after and before, and then trying to relate to what could you be doing instead of this. So I find all three of these questions very intriguing, as to like when you're, what drives you to scroll. Like, I remember I was jumping into bed like, ha ha ha, this is my scrolling time. I've set apart this little amount of time, but it didn't matter. It always went longer than it was supposed to. Even if it was a half an hour turning into an hour, it didn't matter. It always woke me up. And then how did I feel after scrolling? I was annoyed because I was frustrated that, oh man, now I'm awake. Oh man, I did it too long. So now I'm going to bed frustrated. Wonder why I woke up 4 or 5 times that night. And so now I'm just putting on different things that I can just listen to instead.
Yeah.
even if it's just a story. It doesn't matter. Anything instead of that. And
Yeah, this is an interesting question. I worry about when you're scrolling, when you think about all the kids and all the people at it sitting around a dinner table and focusing on their phone instead of on real world. And if you think about that, are they making an inherent comparison like this phone is more interesting than what's actually going on in front of me? And I think that's the case. And if that is the case, the sadness of it is what's on their phone is not reality. Reality is not edited. Reality is not edited where you clip out all the boring crap to get to the good parts.
Right.
That's YouTube or that's Instagram. Reality is slow and messy and takes work. So you are denying a real experience because it's slower than this edited fake stuff. And that's
so much more effort involved, so much more that is required of you to work on the relationship in front of you, the sitting at the table. I mean, now with ChatGPT, you can literally ask it what even just for conversation at a dinner table. I mean, asking the kids how they did. I always found it funny that, it's definitely a sign of maturity when you're watching a movie and someone tries to interrupt your movie. And if the movie comes before the person, or if the person comes before the movie. Mike had a statement in his book that he wrote. He called it schedules are not as important as people.
Yeah, people are more important than schedules.
Or it was people are more important than schedules. I'm not 100% sure.
No, that's what it is. People are more important.
I'm only teasing. So, it's so true. It's like, no, wait a minute. I'm watching a movie. Really? Do you realize what you just said? Like,
I'm definitely guilty of that. I'm definitely guilty as charged.
right? And it's like, and I can understand if that's how, like, yesteryear, like when there wasn't the ability to pause a movie.
Well, the reason that was, though, and Christian, I think this is an important thing in relation to you because it really hit home when I had kids. But I'm a big schedule guy. I could schedule out. I used to schedule out every damn 15 minutes of my day, and I would get done a lot of work. But I also was willing to say, you know what, though, if your schedule is not flexible, then, you're just going to be an asshole. And especially when you have kids, because kids will not fit to your schedule. No. So they had to come first. But I took that and extrapolated in general that people come before schedules. If you got to throw out your schedule, then you need to throw out your schedule because.
Oh, and that's so cool because I definitely see Christian with his children. He's definitely children first. Yet he keeps them in check if he's working or, there is also, right in the middle of fixing something. Hang on, kids. I mean, there's time and place, as we know.
There is fun.
So, but that's still very important. So here's healthy digital boundaries. And I do believe Christian does this with his kids. Phone-free zones. I can't even believe we're talking about. So,
well, phone-free zones. Me and Christian already talked about it. I know New York passed it, and Virginia has it, where they're banning the cell phones from the schools during the day, and I think that's fantastic.
They're seeing a lot of good. They're going to get a lot of good data once this all comes out because you can just see the grades are going to go up. All that stuff's going to be positive.
So by age 11,
girls, though, they're a little young for this, right? They don't. Do they have?
No, they're not. I wouldn't do anything until that. They recommend. There was a really good book. What the hell was it called? Generation Stress. It was Generation Anxiety Generation was this book, and the guy said, "Don't get it. Don't have it until they're 16. You know, if you can wait off until they're 16, no social media, no phones until they're 16."
Yeah, we had a and I actually still like this idea. We had like a lockdown phone for Sammy. We had like 3 numbers. It was a very simple sort of like emergency type phone. But that
Right.
was even after I think she was like 11 or 12, you know. So I think those limited phones are not a bad thing.
Or even like an Apple Watch where they can just if you have it on the cellular plan, you could have it where they can call you from the phone from the watch,
Right, right.
which is pretty nice.
Yeah. They say they're getting them around 11. Parents are giving them to phones to
I
their
mean,
children.
some of the kids in her school already have. Yeah,
That's absurd. Sorry. Have some,
and you really can't lock it down that good. I mean, it's hard to, even with the parental controls, they get around it with VPNs, and if the kid really wants to get around it, they're going to get porn and all that other stuff on there if they really want to,
Right.
because there are a lot of sites catering. They know that the kids are going to get around it with video.
But you set limits on their tablets. That's what you do, right?
Yeah, the screen time stuff. I do. They do have tablets. I only give them because she's playing a lot of Roblox. I give her only 35 minutes on that. That's addictive too. It's like they get into these little dopamine hits of trading like little items.
Right.
And then intentional scrolling, so that you're limiting their ability to interact with certain. They're not allowed to do so you're curating their feed. You're making sure it's for well-being. Apparently, this can help support better focus and sleep. Removing negative distractions, negative accounts. So apparently, they're trying to also turn this into where maybe you could set it so that they're learning useful things instead. And then obviously that's the place.
Christian was getting at, though, very, very difficult. I mean, it's not impossible, but extremely difficult to control the phone, unless you control the device or it's a simpler device.
Yeah.
I think one of my New Year's.
That's important for adults, but the only way I think you can be intentional as an adult is with sort of strict time boxing. In other words, if you don't, because it's very difficult to discipline the content part.
Yeah, I was gonna say for like the new year, I was gonna try and reduce my YouTube thing because I noticed that even at work, I'll just go into a rabbit hole sometimes. And it's most of it is like I'm learning about nutrition or exercises or whatever it is. It doesn't matter, like spiritual or meditation, whatever. I'll just go off and I look at that. I'm like, damn, I did just waste too much time.
Nice cover, buddy. Nice cover.
No, because I know exactly what he's saying.
And then there's more because you are fed what you're in. You are anything that taps into any emotion too. You're like, you're gonna just keep going. It hit a vein. Then you'll start looking at what does that cost? Well, how much is that? What is that? What is it? You just dig deep and dig deep.
Yes, and I'm guilty as charged. I only go to it when I'm looking for something specific. My rear derailleur broke, so I went to get a video on how to change a rear derailleur. Because, like you're saying, I love the way it figures you out so quickly. Search for news on a refrigerator and get refrigerator ads. I love the survival things, to learn those things. I just think is so cool. And, I'm learning. Come on. How could it be bad? I'm learning. And then, look, I'm not watching a stupid movie for 2 hours. So I'm doom scrolling for 2 hours, but it's all things that I want to learn. But still, man, you're getting your dopamine hit. You are getting the dopamine high from doing this. And it's so easy to steer away. Like, oh, I'll just flick through a couple of them. I stopped doing the shorts and only did the longs as another means of trying to convince myself that it was okay. You know what I'm saying? To not do the quick scrolling, chum, 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 chum. Just stay on YouTube videos where they're like 10 minutes before you change instead of 10 seconds.
I do feel like a crackhead when I do the shorts though, and I can't do that. Like I know, like when it's only a minute long, I'm like, if they're going through a couple, I'm like, doesn't feel right. Something feels off. There's just something.
Yeah,
weird.
no, I do the. I tend to only do the shorts, and I do still do them usually during lunch. If I'm eating lunch, I'll hit up some of the shorts. But and again, the only reason why that will work at all is because it's pretty strictly time boxed. But I do absolutely. It's nonsense. Most of it's nonsense, and it's getting worse with the AI junk. They're ruining the shorts because the shorts they're taking over the shorts.
And let me be clear. Now if I do the shorts, I'm scrolling like this. No, 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 no. Okay, one. Now you can just see the garbage. You're like garbage, 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 garbage. I mean, literally, I'm throwing away, like you're saying. I'm not even hesitating to, oh, a kid, garbage. Oh, a girl, garbage.
Oh, no, I'll admit, I look at the garbage.
Oh, man.
Especially if it's an attractive woman. I can't help
it. Well, and we both know that sells. And that's been proven for way before we got into this arena.
I already told you, Joe. If you'd have been topless, our numbers would have been way up this month.
Skyrocketing.
I hear that. I don't know if this is truth or not. That OpenAI is going to start putting on erotica.
Yeah.
No, I think they're going to allow adults. If you are an adult, I assume they'll put an age verification. I don't know if they have one now. But if you are an adult, restrict your content. So if you want to ask about sexual things or whatever, then yes, you can do that.
So here you go with age verification. They're going to have to verify that you are of age to be able to ask the questions. It's just I find it interesting that we're getting to that point. Why don't they do that on TikTok and all the other ones to prevent them from looking at certain things? I'm sure, man, if I ever was a kid and had my testosterone going crazy, holy cow. Like, damn, you can't stay on YouTube 24/7. Oh, yes, I can.
Dang, are you okay?
No, but I mean, oh my God.
Hold on, let me call 911.
I'll never forget, like, you couldn't even get, like, what were those magazines? They had names to them. They were the slutty magazines. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't even go to a store and buy one if you were underage. It was like, you know what I'm saying?
Do you guys have any? I got some funny stories on that one. Did you ever you're searching out like what's a store that would sell me one of these? So you're going into some Asian-owned store where the guy's 96, and he could care less what you buy. And you're like, you're so nervous. You're bringing up this, wank spank mag. Please, sir, may I buy this study magazine?
No, it's the bubble gum, the pop.
That's right. You try to distract him. I'll take a gum, soda, chips, and this too. You try to slip it under the radar.
Yeah, it's just so funny.
Some of the bodegas always had something like that.
All right, get out the secrets there, Christian. Give us the secrets.
It was like in the back of the store or something, or the bodega would have it.
Come on, remember Blockbuster had the.
Wait a minute, what's a bodega?
It's like a Spanish-owned deli, like a.
Oh, okay.
They have it like behind the counter where you're selling it. There'd be like a rack of nudies right behind the guys.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Come on, in Blockbuster, they'd have the one room that had like you had to go through the curtain
Yeah, like
or go through the swinging door.
the
And
beading.
you
Yeah,
like,
Oh, you mean the room with like the beads? It was like blocked off with the beads, and you're like, shh,
and you like
enter
poke
into
your head
the
in
den of
there.
iniquity.
Entered Shangri-La.
So, all right. So, closing thoughts. You can't control the chaos of the world, but you can choose what enters your mind. Woo! Confucius. Confucius too. Say.
Go to bed with itchy butt. Wake up, smelly finger.
All right, and here are my sources. As it scrolls through and the crowd goes wild.
Good one. I liked that you did a PowerPoint, Joe. That was excellent.
He loves power.
PowerPoint.
No, wait a minute. So,
Yeah.
Christian, you go next week, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was good, Joe. I do think doom scrolling's it's really becoming more of an issue. Do you guys think they will? See, we lack a lot of political will in this country, and we get so stupid so quick. Like take even age verification. Great question. Age verification. Why? It's obviously common sense, right? We do age verification all the time. You go into a store, they say, "Show me your license." You want to buy beer? Show me your license. Why not on the web? There's nothing. But then you have the libertarians who will be like, "I don't want you tracking me," you know.
And what is it? It's like
Ridiculous.
click here if you're 18. Whoa! I gotta click a button.
Yeah.
Click. Woo, I'm in.
That's a good point. That's what they would like to do because from a website owner's perspective, right? They don't want to push away potential customers, whether it's ad revenue or subscription revenue. So they want the age verification to be as simple as possible. But as you know, that's not real age verification. If you don't have to show a license or somehow prove you're of that age, then the kids are just going to lie. Right. So, yeah. I mean, as we know, so would we. You know, how old are you? Old enough. You know,
it's like, wow, click that button. I'm in. Come on.
Yeah, it's amazing that they've even made it. I don't think I would have been. I don't know. That would to have porn access like that at all times. That's
what
crazy.
I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. I don't really think the kids are ready. Even a doom scrolling. You know, I was fortunate. My kids, Christian, didn't really have to grow up with that kind of stuff. They had the internet,
right?
But they didn't have it in their rooms and that kind of stuff. I think the worst thing that my kids probably had would be when they got the online games, right, and kind of got addicted that way. But as you know, nowadays, I would really. I think you.
What about Samantha? How old was Samantha when the iPhone and all that came? She's how old is she now? In her 30s?
She's 30. 30. She just turned 30.
She's 30, so she was born in what, 1995?
1995.
95. So
right, because Mike's 60.
The iPhone came out in what, like 2006 or something? 2000.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So she was 11.
So they didn't, like I said, and I only had her with a lockdown phone, and so I'm just saying that I would really try as much as you can to shield your kids from this garbage, because I don't think they're ready. I don't think they can take this stuff. And the problem is, even at their schools, even if it's not them, so say you do your job, what do you think is going to happen at schools? Oh, look, Johnny Jones has his phone out, and look what he's looking at. And they're going to look over there, and they're going to get exposed. It's dangerous. It's very dangerous. And I don't think their brains are ready for this kind of stuff, you know?
Hey, I just wanted to let you know, I'm responsible for the crop circles in Indiana.
What the heck are you talking about?
Well, look at Christian's background. What's with those wavy lines? What has he got? Some Zen
I'll tell
doing?
you,
Zen, man.
I got the crop circles from those. He's got the rocks on the side. He's like doing some
Zen.
Zen.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
He's
Go like this, like,
systematic.
that's so funny.
Mhm.
So, all right, well, that was good, no?
That was good.
Excellent. Good job,
Yeah.
Joe. Good job.
A plus?
Arrivederci.